Welcome to Nice and Blunt. My name is Adam Riancho. It's Monday, March 25th, 2:10 p.m., and it's time for a mock draft here on Underdog. Let's go. All right, here we are. Here is the website, and in case you'd like to join me, you can use my code in the description in the chat. Nice and Blunt. Use the link offered, and you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. We are going to enter the big board $10 tournament. The first place winner will take home $200K, total prize pool $2 million. And it's been coming to my attention in the comment section. Last time we did this, it's not just the top two that advance, is the top three that enter the playoff rounds. So higher odds of getting your money back, higher odds of a return on investment, and better chances to actually make some money in this sucker. So that's good news. Very happy about that. But just to remind you before we get going, in case you're new, it's a half PPR scoring system. The roster has 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end, and 1 quarterback, 12 bench spots. This is a 20-round draft. So we are going to enter this $10 tournament. Here we are getting in. And there is 1 spot available. So if you would like to join me, you can. And it'd be a pleasure to see someone in the chat also a part of this draft. But we got a little bit of time before this thing kicks off. So let me make sure all of my settings are correct for the screen here. As long as we're in good shape for the view. That's the only thing I need to worry about and make sure it's looking good. But yeah, we have 1 spot available. And until then, I guess maybe we can talk about a little bit of free agency while we wait. I feel like, let's see, in the AFC, some players who I think are big winners would be Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon's in a better situation in Houston than he was in Cincinnati, mainly because he doesn't have the competition. Like Chase Brown looked pretty good at the end of last year, and I would expect his volume to come down. Joe Mixon, that is, if he was in the same backfield as Chase Brown. So the fact that he's in Houston and he only has Dameon Pierce to worry about, excellent spot. Definitely think he gets more volume, more production. I think he's more valuable in Houston than he was in Cincinnati. Going into this year, he's probably going to be as productive as he was last year. He had like 1,400 yards, bunch of touchdowns. Love me some Joe Mixon. I also like Derrick Henry, still maintaining top 10 value in now that he's in Baltimore. I think that's really good. Very worried about the Titans. Like I don't like Calvin Ridley. I don't like Tony Pollard. And then those are some of the main names in the AFC. We'll touch on that a little bit more later on. But this draft is full. We are pick number 3. I like being near the top. We're gonna get a very, very good pick. We either get a top 2 receiver or Christian McCaffrey. I am happy with pick 3. That's a good spot. So just a few more seconds for this draft to kick off. Starting in about 12 seconds from now, we will see our first pick on the clock. So exciting. Very exciting. I've done 4 of these big boards. This is going to be my 5th. And I've done a bunch of other ones. I've done like a total of like 33 before this recording on Underdog so far. So there are some trends I've noticed, some players that have moved up, moved down. Free agency has really affected things. Ooh, we get CeeDee Lamb. I am very happy with that. Hell yes. Give me CeeDee Lamb. Younger than Tyreek Hill, less target competition than Tyreek Hill, and did put up over 1,850 yards from scrimmage last year. very happy with CeeDee Lamb on our roster. That's a good spot to be in. Happy with that. So let's just see what happens. Make some comments as the draft unfolds. The first round, hard to really criticize. I mean, maybe there's a few players that might be a little bit higher than I would personally take, but not really through like the first five. Like the only argument against CMC would be that he's, another year older. He played 20 games last year, or at least what he missed. He missed week 18, so 19, including the Super Bowl. Maybe he's going to miss some time. Maybe there's an injury, but you don't draft with the assumption of injury. You draft for the ceiling here in best ball, best case scenario. And I don't think there's another running back who has equal value. I think CMC is still clearly RB1. The only concern would be him going down with injury, which you can say for every single player in the NFL. I would still probably take him. Number one overall. I feel like I haven't gotten like a single draft where I've gotten the number one pick. Maybe like 2 or 3 max. I feel like it's only like one. Like only one time have I ever drafted at pick 1. So I have not been taking Christian McCaffrey. Very much so far this offseason. Very few opportunities to do so. But I'm happy with CeeDee. Very happy with Lamb. Then we see Ja'Marr Chase at 4, Bijan, Breece Hall. I think them back-to-back 2-3 is the order of your preference. I don't think you can really argue against the two of them. Just who do you want? That is what it is. And I think I'd probably go Breece. I think I'd personally probably take Breece, but Bijan's perfectly fine. Jefferson at 7 because of the quarterback situation being a little bit up in the air. It's probably going to be a combo of Sam Darnold to start the season, followed by J.J. McCarthy starting in like November, unless Darnold is putting them in playoff contention. So that's decent value on Jefferson. Definitely a top 5 wide receiver still. But then Amon-Ra St. Brown, followed by A.J. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, Kyren Williams, first pick of the second round, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Nico Collins. There's definitely a second tier of running backs, and I think your preference in terms of JT, Saquon, Kyren, and Jahmyr between RB4 and RB7, I think is legit. Where I have a problem is the next player that was just drafted, Devon Achane, as RB8. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I've mentioned it in a stream previously. I'm just to put him top 10, I think is a bit of a dicey call for yours truly. For me, I'm not too excited about it. But here we are in round 2. I do like Ayuk. Diggs is very tempting, but had a terrible end of the season. I'm going to go with Ayuk. I'm going to pass on Josh Allen. We're probably giving Team 2 a shot at the Allen Diggs stack, but I don't care. I feel like Diggs is falling down a little bit. There it goes. Goes to Team 1. CMC, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Not bad, but I don't think we would have gotten the stack, so I'm happy to pass on it. Neighbors going at pick 26. That's interesting. We could go for both Niners receivers, but I'm going to go with the touchdown machine and a player guaranteed to get us 1,000 yards. I'm going with Mike Evans. I think while Rashee Rice is, a decent player to argue for, especially when he was going mid round 2 earlier in the tournament. He is falling. I have some concerns with Marquise Brown entering the picture. I also still believe they're going to be drafting a wide receiver. Maybe it's at pick 32. That would definitely create some value on Rashee Rice if it was a first round investment. But even if it's at pick 64 at the end of the second round, I still think the target volume for Rashee will be coming down. The receiver competition is going to be far, far better this season than it was last year. So I like Mike Evans. He was a top 10 wide receiver last year, and he's going almost as like wide receiver 20. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wide receiver 18 off the board. I think that's a can't miss situation. Rashee only kind of came on at the end of the year when he was getting like 10 targets a game. So I feel more confident expecting reliable numbers from Mike Evans as I do from Rashee Rice. And I feel very, very confident in my top 3, all finishing top 15. I can't imagine any of them finish outside the top 20. There's a chance that Rashee Rice plummets, at least does not finish top 20. Slight chance that happens. I do like me some Michael Pittman, but he went early at pick 23 at the end of the second round. Then we saw Josh Allen Diggs followed by Malik Nabers. So team 2 is really taking some bold stances on some young guys. But then we took Mike Evans followed by Rashee, Chris Olave, Debo, Tank Dell, Jalen Waddle, Laporta at 33, then Josh Jacobs. Team 10 is going heavy running back. Then goes Travis Kelce, not taking a receiver. With 3 receivers you have to start in this draft. I don't love that strategy, but it's definitely a unique one. Then we see DK Metcalf, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith. Team 12 has the Eagles stack. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua stacked for Team 11, so they're probably going to target Matthew Stafford later on. As we mentioned, Team 10 to Kelce. Then we see Derrick Henry off the board at 40. Not bad value. Not bad at all. Then Travis Etienne at 41, followed by Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. The value at receiver has definitely taken a hit. So I don't love it. If we leave James Cook on the board, that's definitely going to Team 1, and Team 2 does not have a running back either. So I've been taking a lot of Rachaad White. I do trust him. We also have Evans. We could get another Tampa investment. But you know what? I do not understand. You know what? In the chat, they want us to go Rachaad White. We're going to go with Rachaad White. We have 2 viewers who want Rachaad White. Fuck it, let's do it. And we're going to target our boy Baker Mayfield, who's going super late. Excellent value on Baker Mayfield. Let's do it. Let's go with Rachaad White. Since y'all interjected into the chat, we are going with Rachaad White. I've taken him a lot. So I like him. Very, very good stats. Very comfortable usage from Rachaad. We spotlighted him a little bit last time around. But yeah, the game log last year was just so productive, so consistent at the end of the season. And he did finish with 70 targets, 64 catches. That is a good stack to have. The Tampa Bay stack. Okay. We could go with Pacheco. We could take another running back, but I'm not super excited. The quality of receiver coming back to us is not ideal. I'm going to reach on someone just a little bit. I wish I would have taken more of Christian Kirk, but I feel like Christian Kirk with no Calvin Ridley is such a safe 5th round selection. I am very, very happy with Christian Kirk. He's also like top 20 production the last 2 years. I know it's a little bit above ADP, but I feel very safe with that investment. The quality of receiver coming back around in rounds 6 and 7 is nothing compared to the quality of running back that we're probably going to get later on. So it looks like you guys were thinking Pacheco. I see Pacheco's name a couple times. And yes, we did not go with your selection, but yeah, I'm very comfortable with Christian Kirk. I have no fear in the Gabe Davis edition. That's not something I am worried about at all. So while Jonathan here does like the appeal of having the Kansas City running back, I feel like they're going to draft one. They at the moment do not have CEH or Jerick McKinnon on the roster. I've also taken Pacheco like crazy. I was taking Pacheco pick 40, like early 4th round. So yeah, I feel you. I feel you guys. I'm not opposed to Pacheco in the 5th round. I also feel like that's like a bust proof selection, but I feel from a roster construction, I am happier to go with whatchamacallit, wide receiver in round 5 and take running back maybe with our next 2 picks than I am to be forced into going with Pacheco. If I took Mahomes, then I would have been comfortable with Pacheco. But it is what it is. I'm fine with it. Eric Fortis is asking, how can I get on your next mock draft, Adam? Maybe we'll do another one after this, but most likely not. It's going to have to be the next time we draft, buddy. I might have a little bit more time as like a warning, like I might post the prompt that I'm going to go live more than like 10 minutes in advance, and then you can maybe be set to fire with us. But if you join right when we go live, there is like a 2-minute window before we hit the button, and you can plan accordingly. So that would be the best way. We will see. But now we're on the clock, and my boy, Dave Montgomery. Yo, I love me some Dave Montgomery. I hate Chris Godwin here. Godwin doesn't score any fucking touchdowns. We already have 2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not going to go triple. I don't like JSN with Lockett being retained. Maybe Kittle can fall to us. I am very happy with Dave Montgomery getting another 10-plus touchdowns. I am very, very happy with Dave Montgomery. I know Jahmyr Gibbs is the hot hand, but at the end of the season, Montgomery was going at this point in the draft as well, and he proved to us that he was way more valuable than when we were drafting him, and I trust him so much. That Detroit offense, such a good offensive line, and Reflect the Sun didn't really like our one running back strategy so far, but yes, I planned this. I was absolutely planning this. The value at wide receiver here is atrocious. I'm not going with Deontay Johnson. I'm not reaching on DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not going with Chris Godwin. I'm not taking JSN. I hate receiver here. I've done enough of these drafts to know that I fucking hate receiver here. The difference between Pacheco and Montgomery, I think, is not massive, knowing that we were able to get ourselves some Christian Kirk in round 5. So I think I'm going to go with George Kittle. Open the door for a Niners stack as well. And he is falling a little bit. I'm happy with that. Burrow, if I had Jamar Chase, would be appealing. Dak is also kind of someone to consider, but yeah, I'm not going to reach on Dak for the stack. I don't think that's something we need. We have a very good stack lining ourselves up with Brock Purdy coming back around. So we're good with that. But Jonathan loves him some Dave Montgomery. Jonathan in the subscriber league literally planned his draft accordingly to prevent me from getting Montgomery in that situation. You may have overpaid just a little bit. You spent $19. Meanwhile, I spent like $18 on Brees Hall. We know how that worked out. But Jonathan, you did make the playoffs. I was in seventh place. I missed it by one game. The strategy worked out for you, and I was fucking mad about it, man. I was not happy that you sniped me on Montgomery. But we get him here, and Montgomery, I believe, is also my most drafted running back on Underdog as well already through this point. So I'm back on board with Montgomery. I think 10 plus touchdowns are guaranteed. I still think there's a big committee between him and Jahmyr Gibbs, and the massive elevation in terms of price you have to pay for Jahmyr Gibbs makes Montgomery a far more appealing value in the draft. I love me some Day Montgomery. Paired with Rachaad White, I'm liking this team. Let me know in the comment section though. Do you disagree with our pick? Maybe you don't believe in Christian Kirk as much as I do, but do you really think that Isaiah Pacheco and Dave Montgomery, and I guess we would have gone with like JSN in terms of receivers? Like, those would be the two picks that will be different. Christian Kirk and George Kittle, as opposed to Pacheco and JSN. Because I think I probably would have gone Montgomery regardless, even if I did have Pacheco. But let me know in the comment section what y'all think. If you guys prefer taking Pacheco or passing on him with Montgomery as our RB2. But Reflect the Sun, James Conner is not still there. He was taken at pick 79. So no, he is not there. But Jonathan says maybe I'll win round 2 of the Dave Montgomery bidding war. I hope so. I'd be very happy to take him again. But valid Kirk versus JSN toss up in my opinion now with Grubb. Yeah, I'm much more happy with Christian Kirk than I am with a guy like JSN. So I'm not upset about it. I'm good with this. But we're gonna be back on the clock. Damn, I would have liked Javonte Williams there, but we do not get him. And these next two teams do have a quarterback, but I could easily see them sniping me. I hate Eckler and Spears. I really don't want either of them, so I'm just going to guarantee our Niners stack and go with Brock Purdy. Eric Fortis says we should have snagged Pacheco, easily top 3 hardest runner. He runs hard. He definitely runs hard. Mike Williams goes off. Unfortunately, no Mike Williams. Tajay goes. And I'm going to take my boy. That's also the beauty of having four wide receivers I trust at this point. We don't need to grab the ugly picks at this moment. I'm going with Zamir White. Zamir White is a big winner in free agency, my friends. Zamir White is so valuable here at pick 99. I know they added Madison, but who the fuck cares? Madison sucks. Madison is bad. Y'all seem to really wish I went Pacheco. Really, I get it. Look, I like me some Pacheco too. He's very high on my exposure, but yeah, I'm comfortable with our strategy. Zamir feels like a top 20 running back. Could easily do that. He had a fucking phenomenal stretch. Granted, one of those games was against the Chargers, and I don't know if I want to read into that too much. But damn, these last 4 games when he was the starter, just so productive. 69 yards and a touchdown, along with 3 catches for another 16 yards. Then he ran for 145. His worst game was actually against the Chargers. He was amazing against Kansas City. Then another 20 touches for 71 yards, 5 catches for 35 yards, went over 100 again. And then in the final game of the season, 25 touches, 112 carries, along with a catch for 9 yards. I understand why they moved off of Josh Jacobs, why they were willing to get rid of Josh, or at least let him go. But Biggest Bird is asking, what app am I using to do mock drafts? I am using Underdog. Definitely the best ADP, and if I'm gonna do a mock draft, I want it to be much more legit, and everybody in this draft is actually doing it. Underdog's the place to go. But apparently I'm forgiven for now for not taking Pacheco. I've taken him in so many other drafts, but yeah. I feel like a month ago I was taking him at pick like 38. So don't paint me as a Pacheco hater just because I passed on him once. But it is what it is. Okay, we'll get off that topic. I feel like I've spoken about the Pacheco situation a little too much at this point. But now we're back on the clock. Love me some Jonathan Brooks. I think he's very valuable. I like him a lot. And I want one of these rookie running backs. I know that the class is like underrated, but there are some good landing spots for these players. I do not like. I'm going to go Jonathan Brooks. I'm going to take Jonathan Brooks. If Jonathan Brooks, or any other running back for that matter, gets drafted by Dallas, the Cowboys have such a elite spot to land in this draft. You're going to be so happy if you draft one of these rookie running backs and they wind up in Dallas. And there's a chance that they go Jonathan Brooks because they're not too worried about his ACL tear that occurred last November. Okay. Let me just focus and I'll get back to Jonathan Brooks real quick. I think we should go. Fuck. I do like Ladd McConkey. Yeah, I'm going to go Ladd McConkey. I think McConkey is possibly a first-round receiver. I really like McConkey. If they don't let a guy like Adonai Mitchell fall to the Chiefs, then I feel like McConkey could definitely be on his way to Kansas City. So do we need a tight end? No, we took George Kittle. Remember, we have the Niners stack with Purdy, Ayuk, and George Kittle. So we're not desperate for a tight end at the moment. We have our top 5 guy, at worst top 6, and we're going to try and get some better value a little bit later. But McConkey is a kind of like a my guy type of situation. I really like McConkey. And there's also a situation where if he falls to the second round, he could definitely go to the Chargers with their second round pick. I could easily see them trading down out of 5, getting offensive line help. Probably going to trade with the Vikings, get pick 11, 23. And with their 37th overall pick, first pick of the second round, I think they'll go wide receiver. And I would love to see some Ladd McConkey in LA with the Chargers, excuse me. But where else could he go? He could go to the Giants. He could go to Carolina. He could go to the Chiefs. And I legitimately believe that he could go first round as well to a team like Buffalo, a team like Pittsburgh. I think he's that good. I like McConkey a lot. So we're going to take him here at pick 123. And then we'll see what quarterback is available to us coming back around. Because we're definitely going with Baker Mayfield. We know that. We might have to reach on Baker just a little bit. But a lot of comments. Let's see. Eric wanted me to go taking the Gus bus. Gus should score some touchdowns. At the moment I like Gus Edwards, but there he goes at pick 137 off the board. So we can't take him. But I think they're gonna take Blake Corum in the third round, or maybe the fourth, probably the third round. I think they're absolutely going with Harbaugh's guy. So Gus is gonna be an annoying player because he will be scoring touchdowns. He will be contributing a decent amount, but it's going to be capped because it's going to be more of a committee, and he's also going to hurt the value of whoever they draft as well. So I am interested in Gus Edwards, but in this tournament, you could have gotten him much later. So that's why I'm not trying to reach on a guy like Gus Edwards, because his ADP has dramatically risen since the beginning of this tournament. I kind of like Luke Musgrave. If that's our next tight end, I'm not going to be upset about it. But we're going to go Luke Musgrave. I could have gone Josh Palmer there, but he's dramatically risen. I feel like I've taken him in this tournament closer to like pick 170, so maybe not. We are going to go with Baker Mayfield because we've invested in Rachaad White, we've invested in Mike Evans, and we want the stack for the sake of this roster build. So even though he's going off at pick 152, we're taking him just a little bit above at pick 147, and I have no regrets. Baker Mayfield really came on at the end of last year, was like finishing the season as like a top 12 quarterback. The fact that he stays in Tampa with Mike Evans still there as well, really, really ideal. Yeah, we've completed both of our double stacks, and I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy. So that's just a pick we have to make for the sake of this roster composition. But Jonathan asking, what are your thoughts on the Falcons with Captain Kirk at the helm? Maybe Pitts will outproduce ADP for once. LOL. You know, I think the Falcons are going to be really good. I think they'll probably compete for the division. Wouldn't be shocked if they won it. But I think Pitts is still going to disappoint. I feel like Pitts is the one that I don't like believe in. That's just I was out on him as a rookie, and he had like 1,000 yards, but like no touchdowns. I still don't think he's going to score many touchdowns. I do think he's going to have good production. I don't hate him, but I believe they're going to be drafting a receiver. And if he's available at pick 8, I wouldn't be shocked at all if they drafted Rome Odunze. That is my only hesitation to like fully be on board the Drake London and Kyle Pitts bandwagon at this point, because my gut tells me that they could still go early wide receiver. And as long as Odunze doesn't go to the Giants and is still on the board, everyone has them going with Dallas Turner, the edge rusher. And yeah, that could happen as well. But I feel like they have very little options at receiver behind Drake London. I don't fully believe in Mooney. He's not a 2. He's more of a 3. He's more of a field stretcher. And Pitts has been a little bit underwhelming. Coming from the Rams offense, I'm pretty sure the offensive coordinator is out of the Rams system. and I know the coach is from the Rams, and I expect them to want to go with 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end on the field. I feel like Odunze could still very much go to Atlanta, and that's the only reason why I'm not yet drafting London and Pitts with like full certainty. But Kirk definitely improves their value. It definitely makes them more appealing. And I do think the Falcons are going to be an above 500 team this year in the NFC. I do like the Falcons' upside. That is my gut opinion. That is what I believe is very much on the table in Atlanta, going Rome Odunze at pick 8. And that could hurt the value of Drake London and Kyle Pitts. So that's how I feel. But definitely excited for the Falcons offense. I don't worry about Cousins. He's also a player I've drafted a lot, just not in this draft because we don't have anyone to stack him with. But I do like me some Braylon Allen. And as we mentioned, if we can get the running back that goes to Dallas, we're going to be really happy about it. So he's falling a little bit, almost 10 picks past ADP. I'm going to go with Braylon Allen. We need another running back, and he's one that I believe in. Marshawn Lloyd, I worry, is going to be the third back in the rotation in Washington. And I'm not like super in love with his tape. I like Braylon Allen a lot. Have they added him yet? They still haven't added Isaac Guerendo, which makes no sense to me at all. The fastest running back at the combine is not a player that you can draft on Underdog as of yet. Makes no sense to me at all. Wow, Malik Washington goes. That's high. That's a bit of a shocker. Do I go with Marshawn? I mean, he's falling. I might do it because I don't like Wandale here. I do like me some Jalen Polk, but I don't feel like wide receiver is critical. Yeah, I'm going to go Marshawn Lloyd. You may disagree with my strategy, but one of these rookie running backs is going to be a league winner because the Cowboys are going to draft them. So I want to increase my odds of taking one. And, you know, at this point, we're just taking handcuffs. Like, do you really feel confident in Khalil Herbert? I've left that bandwagon for sure. I can't draft him anymore now that they added DeAndre Swift. I can't do it. Roshan is also a handcuff. Elijah Mitchell, a handcuff to CMC. I could talk myself into it, but I kind of feel like Jordan Mason is starting to overtake him a little bit. I'm not like in love with Elijah Mitchell. I feel like if you want to go with a Niners handcuff, I feel like Mason is more valuable going so much later. Drafting one of these rookies, at worst, they're the handcuff. And while Lloyd has a little bit of question marks, he's still talented. He's not atrocious. I prefer Braylon Allen, and Jonathan Brooks would be an elite running back. I think he's actually really good. Would be a second-round pick for sure, if not for the injury. If one of these players goes to Dallas, we have ourselves a league winner. So that's one of the reasons why I do want to be drafting some of these rookies. So that's my strategy here in the tournament. We need someone with league winning upside. And that's why I'm just getting a few more rookie running backs to take that shot that we end up with the Cowboy. Whoever goes to the Cowboys is going to be so fucking valuable. And they're going to skyrocket up the board. Like, if you told me Braylon Allen goes to Dallas, who we got in round 14, he's going to be going like round 8, like above Tony Pollard. like maybe even above Nick Chubb. Like whoever is the Cowboys starter is going to be so fucking valuable. So that's what I'm vying for with these rookie picks. I know the class has been diminished in terms of the hype on it, but I think there are 7, maybe 8 running backs that will be drafted in the first like 3-4 rounds, and they're all going to go like back to back. They're going to go so tightly knit because they're all kind of equal to each other. Brooks is really good, but the injury is going to limit his value. And then everyone from like Trey Benson through, I think Lloyd is the cutoff point. Lloyd, and a guy like Jalen Wright are kind of at the tail end. They will be going in that 3rd and 4th round, and one of them's going to go to Dallas, and that one's going to be a fucking monster for fantasy this year. But what about Zay Jones now that Calvin is gone? I don't dislike Zay Jones. He's not bad, but I'm not like dying to take him because I do also believe that they draft a wide receiver. They also bring Gabe Davis. They're going to have kind of a battle, but Zay Jones goes off at pick 181, so we can't take him. I'm definitely done with running back, though. Rest of the way, no more running backs. We have 2 tight ends, so we probably don't need another one. We're kind of just looking at wide receiver and quarterback. And I really like Malachi Corley. I think Corley's a very, very interesting 3rd round pick. Could possibly go 2nd round. Yeah, I actually, now that I think about it, I do have him going 2nd round, late 2nd round. Steve Smith has dubbed him the steal of the draft already. So we'll see how that works out. But I could see him going to Houston, and I would love that landing spot. If Houston is on the board at pick 59 at the end of round 2, Malachi Corley definitely in contention for that selection. But I'm going to do something that you guys might fucking hate, but I have a plan. I'm going JJ McCarthy here. And I am convinced he is going to the Vikings at pick 5. I'm just locking that in to my mock draft. The Vikings trade up from 11 in combination with pick 23 to go to pick 5 with the Chargers and take JJ McCarthy. And as long as he goes to the Vikings, then we're also going to take another pick later that's going to be an investment in the Vikings landing spot. Oh God, you guys don't like it. You don't like it. Yeah, I knew I'd probably get some pushback, but I have a strategy here, okay? I have a strategy here. Boo. Look, man, we're in a tournament, okay? I'm fucking shooting for the stars, okay? And I have a plan. All right? The Vikings quarterback situation is way more valuable than it's getting credit for. And as long as JJ McCarthy goes there, McCarthy is going to have a productive career in Minnesota. Okay? If he goes to Washington, or if he goes anywhere, if he goes to the Giants, if he goes to the fucking, goes anywhere, then yeah, I'm fucking screwed, okay? But look, the odds of like winning this are already slim. We gotta take our shot. And look, I want to show you these stats on Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins was putting up like top 15 numbers, okay, when he was the backup in Minnesota. He had 3 games with over 300 yards, one over 400, another with 396. As long as you land in Minnesota, you're going to have some value. So, yes, am I shooting for fucking Jupiter? Not just the moon. I'm shooting for another galaxy. Maybe I am. Okay. You can hate all you want, but I have a strategy here, and as long as I don't get fucking sniped, then I think it's gonna work out. Oh shit! I realize we are no longer visible. Give me 1 second. Swapping out the battery on this camera. Okay. We're back. Yeah, okay. Look. It could completely blow up in my face, but a 17th round pick is not a player you're counting on. So if it works out, I'm golden. If it doesn't work out, then it's not that big a deal, okay? Like let me do something, okay? Let me fucking do something. But yeah, I can understand why you may not love it. But we have 3 more picks. And it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. We just need him to not go off the board in these next 2 picks. That's all. And you may already know who I'm talking about. But you're probably going to hate me for the next pick as well. You're probably going to hate this fucking strategy. Demarcus Robinson gets taken. Definitely a player I would consider here, but he gets taken. Nope. He does not. Do you see who I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm about to do? I'm going with Sam Darnold. I'm just locking myself in to the Vikings quarterback. And yep, I can see the hate. I can feel it. But I don't give a shit, okay? This is what I want to do on the stream. I'm going to get like 6 games from Sam Darnold, and then I'm going to get like 10 from JJ McCarthy. And the fact that they have the weapons that they do is the reason why it's a combination pick that I'm not upset with, that I'm willing to do. But I'm going to go with Tucker Kraft. And we are locking ourselves into the Green Bay tight end. As long as if one of them gets hurt, then we have the other one as our backup to Kittle. And now we're just going wide receiver with our final pick. But yeah, not as bad as taking McCarthy, LOL. At least we know that Darnold is in Minnesota. At least that's something we know. But I'm convinced that McCarthy is going to be drafted by the Vikings. And the Vikings offense is just so fucking stacked, man. They just have such good weapons. They have a good coach. And maybe TJ Hockenson misses like 4 games. But you have Jefferson, a top 3 receiver at worst. You have Addison and TJ Hockenson. If Mullins can throw for 400 yards, I'm going to get some value out of this Vikings investment. Okay, so I get it. Maybe you don't like it, but we're taking a swing, and I'm willing to do it. At least for the content. At least for content. But okay, let's remind you of our roster composition. In round 1, we went with CeeDee Lamb. Then we went with Brandon Ayuk, Mike Evans, 3 receivers I feel very, very confident in. Then we went with Rachaad White, followed by Christian Kirk, David Montgomery, George Kittle, Brock Purdy to complete our Niners stack. Then we took Zamir White, Jonathan Brooks. Then Ladd McConkey, Luke Musgrave, Baker Mayfield to complete our Tampa Bay stack. Then Braylon Allen, Marshawn Lloyd, Malachi Corley, and then this hopeful Vikings combo of J.J. McCarthy and Sam Darnold, and then Tucker Kraft to handcuff Luke Musgrave. Whoever starts the game and finishes it as the Packers tight end is valuable. Like they're arguably top 15, at worst top 20. They use that position a lot, especially in the red zone. Underrated in the red zone. Both of those guys were productive when healthy. So that's where I stand. But definitely making some people laugh. Look, it's entertainment, man. We're that's what we're here for, to entertain. It's a YouTube show, and it's also a massive tournament. So let me do me, you do you. And if you hate it, then now you know. You fucking hate the strategy. Now you know. But if it works out, you better apologize at the end of the season if it works out. If I win 200K on the back of Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy, I better hear some apologies a year from now. Unlikely to happen, yes, but we'll fuck Teaver. That is guaranteed. I did see someone wanted me to take Luke McCaffrey, so maybe we'll do it. Calvin Austin is a little bit interesting given the situation in Pittsburgh. They got rid of Deontay Johnson, but I could easily see them drafting like Brian Thomas or someone in the first round at pick like 20, 21. Yeah, they're on the board at pick 20. And if Brian Thomas Jr. somehow makes it past Jacksonville and Cincinnati, then he's probably a Pittsburgh Steeler. So I don't know if I'm in love with Calvin Austin. But with Mike Williams going to New York, the Jets have no value for Allen Lazard anymore, so don't want that. I don't think I'm going to go with Mingo. No fucking chance. I don't hate Tim Patrick, to be honest with you. He got signed. He's just never been healthy the last 2 seasons, but that's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to take a fucking chance. We need someone that's very low roster percentage. So I'm going to go with Tim Patrick, the currently in line with Marvin Mims as the number 2 receiver. Maybe he's number 3. I know he's coming off 2 back-to-back injuries, but fuck it. Fuck it, we're going with Tim Patrick. Someone who's not on many rosters. But I really trust our top 4 receivers. I'm not expecting much contribution from these players. So that's it for the draft. Remind you of our team. At quarterback, we have Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, J.J. McCarthy, and Sam Darnold. Y'all hate my Darnold-McCarthy combo, but it is what it is. Running back, we have Rachaad White, Dave Montgomery, Zamir White, Jonathan Brooks, Braylon Allen, and Marshawn Lloyd. Just praying that one of these rookie running backs is a Dallas Cowboy. Let's hope that happens. And then at wide receiver, we have CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Ladd McConkey, Malachi Corley, and Tim Patrick. Very high on McConkey and Corley as rookies. Patrick is just a swing for the fence. Lastly, though, at tight end, we have George Kittle, Luke Musgrave, and Tucker Kraft. And that's our team. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe if you have not already. But I'll be seeing you probably next week with another mock draft here on Underdog. And if you want to sign up, join me for our next draft, use my code Nice and Blunt, and get your first deposit matched up to $100 over there. But that's going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time on the channel. Thank you. Goodbye.